In this free trading course, I'm going to give you a masterclass in mathematics for traders. Now, I'm going to do it step by step with you so you can reproduce it yourself and apply it to other trading statistics in order to improve your trading edge. If you have attention deficit disorder or you are not serious about trading, this video isn't for you. This requires a lot of concentration, but the gems I'm going to share with you today will change how you trade for the rest of your life. Now, trading statistics are vitally important when you want to find or improve your edge. A lot of people go by gut feel or they believe what your local social media trading influencer tells you. Use statistics and apply your brain power to see if those statistics hold any significance. So this is a tool called Edgeful. It was created by a fellow Goldman Sachs alumnus. He worked in the New York office. I worked in the London office. Now, I wanted to know what is the best day of the week to trade, i.e. which days have the most range. So I produced this report, which is the volume and range by weekday report, and I ran it for 3 years worth of data for S&P 500. Now, it looks like there's a strong correlation between the day of the week and how much volume there is. So it looks like Mondays have the least volume, i.e. the least institutional participation, and it increases during the week where we have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at the top of the range. Now, it's not just good enough to look at this information. You have to understand what is the data set. Is this statistically significant? So I am using Gemini to really drill into the data. And I'm going to show you how you can really be PhD level smart about your trading but not actually require a PhD to do it. So I'm going to give you the bare bones and we're going to use Google Gemini to do this. We cannot use ChatGPT anymore. ChatGPT has been dumbed down massively. So I'm no longer paying the $200 a month for my top end ChatGPT subscription because it has turned into garbage. I now use Google Gemini. So what I did was I pasted this screenshot into Google Gemini and I said, are these correlations statistically significant? Now, it's key that you tell it it's 3 years worth of data. If this was 1 week's worth of data, it would not be statistically significant. Why not? Because we just might have had an anomaly. The bigger your data set, the more likely it is that your finding is not occurring due to random chance. I'm going to share everything with you. So, are these correlations statistically significant? This is 3 years worth of data. So what we said was, and you can pause the video to read it, based on the data extracted, there is an extremely strong and statistically significant correlation between average daily range and average daily volume. So why this matters? The 3 years factor. Because these averages are derived from approximately 750 data points, the noise of individual outlier days has been smoothed out. This makes the trend seen in the chart a very reliable representation of ES. And it talks about the midweek hump. So if you go back to this, you have this Wednesday, Thursday hump. The Wednesday, Thursday peak, your data confirms a classic market profile. Activity builds from Monday, peaks midweek, and then slightly cools off on Friday. This often aligns with the typical schedule of high impact economic releases like FOMC and CPI data. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit smarter than this AI model. So I said, look, I provided you the summary. I'm going to give it the raw data. Now, I'm not going to go into how I extracted this raw data from this data set, but I gave it the raw data. And I now want it to really think about whether this midweek hump phenomena really implies that we should not trade Mondays and we should focus on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So what I'd said was, if I provide the raw data, would that help determine if it's statistically significant? Yes, it would. Using the raw data for these 770 trading days, we can now move past simple moving averages and look at the statistical significance or the truth behind these patterns. So the volume volatility link is highly significant. Okay, but this is the key thing. Is Wednesday, Thursday actually better? Trending, but noisy. So what it started saying was, this is the most surprising result because the P value is really 5%. So there's a 5% chance that the result you are seeing is due to random chance. And this is the confidence interval that statisticians use. If there's only a 5% chance that what you're seeing is due to random events, then we're pretty confident that this data is good, okay? But it's above 5%. A strict statistician would say the difference in range between the days is not technically significant. Why? While Wednesdays and Thursdays have higher average ranges, they also have high variance. Listen carefully. Some Wednesdays are massive, 2% range, but many other are just as quiet as Mondays. So if you go by the raw data, you would think, I'm always going to trade Wednesdays because they have more institutional participation than Mondays. But when you look into the raw data, some Wednesdays are massive, but many are just as quiet as Mondays. The noise of quiet midweek days prevents this from being a sure thing at a 95% confidence interval. Now we really have to put our trading hats on and think, why are some Wednesdays volatile and some Wednesdays as quiet as Mondays? So what I asked it next, and now you can pause the video and read this in its entirety. So I said US CPI is often released on Wednesdays. Could this factor into the variance? Confirm using the CPI dates. This is something that ChatGPT can't do either. Okay, so the first issue I had was ChatGPT. It couldn't deal with the 770 data points, and now ChatGPT can no longer deal with pulling these CPI dates. So ChatGPT is trash. Use Google Gemini going forward. So it went and correlated all those days with FOMC and CPI days. So it said, yes, US CPI releases are a massive factor in the variance you are seeing, and they heavily skew the Wednesday-Thursday averages. By cross-referencing your raw data with the official CPI release calendar, we can confirm that CPI days act as volatility clusters that drive up averages for the middle of the week. So there's a lot of gems in here. I'm going to make sure I don't miss it. So there was also an April outlier effect where the 9th of April, we had a 10% move. Okay, so that is also skewing the data. Statistically, CPI days versus non-CPI days. When we look at the raw data, the Wednesday-Thursday edge is mostly driven by these event days. So when we have a CPI Wednesday or Thursday, it's highly significant that we'll have a big range. But when it's a non-CPI Wednesday, it's marginal whether we're going to have a big range. So then I asked it to filter the data further to see what a quiet week looks like compared to a news week. So what did it do? To understand the impact of CPI, we filtered the data into two categories, news weeks and quiet weeks. The contrast is stark and explains exactly why your original chart shows a hump. In a news week, the variance explodes. Wednesday becomes a statistical anomaly, while the quiet period data shows a much flatter, more predictable curve. So in a quiet week, 1% on Monday, 1.07, 1.09, 1.53, 1.3. Okay, in a news week, 8%, 7, 10, 4, 3. So you see that it's really the Thursday you want to be focusing on, the Thursday and a Friday in a quiet week. Okay, because the Wednesday in a quiet week behaves like a Monday and a Tuesday. How CPI factors into variance. Now, this is something that is an edge that I have now found, the anticipation effect. Notice that Tuesday volume also rises significantly during CPI weeks. The market is positioning or hedging ahead of the Wednesday morning print. What does this mean? During a CPI week, Tuesdays have much higher volume than expected. Tuesdays are the days you want to trade, right? That's when you're going to get some great volume. You probably won't want to trade the CPI day. Trade the Tuesday. This is how you can start squeezing an edge out of statistics. Okay, the two market summary. So this is now the conclusion. Your data proves you are actually trading two different market environments. The baseline market, 80% of the time, range is relatively flat across the week. Wednesday has no statistical advantage over Tuesday. In this market, your Wednesday hump edge is largely an illusion. Event market. This is where the 3-year average range comes from. In these weeks, Wednesday is the undisputed king of range and volume. Final verdict. Where is your edge? If you are looking for a day of the week edge, Wednesday only exists as an edge because of the news calendar, statistical recommendation. Check the calendar. If CPI is on Wednesday, prepare for a high range, high volume environment. Ignore the Wednesday rule on quiet weeks. In weeks without major data releases, treat Wednesday like a Monday. The variance is too low to support specialized strategy. Volume is the lead indicator. Since we found an extreme correlation between volume and range, use relative volume at the open. So this is a future video I can make if you would like it. If you want me to do this relative volume at the open indicator, which provides an edge on whether you should trade that day, comment below. If Wednesday's opening volume is 2 standard deviations above its 30-day high, that is a better signal than the fact that it happens to be a Wednesday. So now I'm saying, look, during non-CPI FOMC weeks, is there a statistical difference between volume between weekdays? Even when we strip away the news weeks, there is still a consistent statistical difference in volume between the weekdays, but the nature of the difference changes. Strictly speaking, during quiet weeks, the difference in volume between days is not statistically significant at a 95% confidence interval. The reality, while the averages still show a slight climb throughout the week, the variance between individual weeks is so high that you cannot reliably say Wednesday will have more volume than Monday, based purely on the day of the week. Key findings for your strategy. Mondays are still the thin days. Even without news, Mondays consistently has the lowest participation. However, the gap is much smaller. So for your trading, you can skip Mondays, okay? They are likely to be the lowest volume. Tuesday versus Wednesday is a toss-up. In quiet weeks, Tuesday actually slightly outperformed Wednesday in volume in some of your data samples. The Wednesday hump you saw on the initial chart is almost entirely a result of news positioning and releases. Late week liquidity, Thursday and Friday remain the deepest days for the order book, even without catalysts. This suggests a weekend effect where institutional rebalancing and weekly option hedging provide a baseline of volatility. Okay, so the Wednesday, Thursday edge is event driven, not calendar driven, which means look at the news releases. I can't believe how many traders still don't look at the economic calendar. This is the one I use, forexfactory.com. Okay, use that. Nice and easy. So in news weeks, trade Wednesday and Thursday. They are statistically superior. In quiet weeks, there's no statistical reason to favor one day over another. Your edge in a quiet week will come from intraday volume profile, not the day of the week, excluding Mondays. Mondays are thinner, as we saw above. Would you like me to create a probability table that shows the chance of getting a 1% range day based on whether it is a CPI week or a quiet week? So in a quiet week, we're more likely to get a 1% move on a Thursday or a Wednesday or a Friday. Okay, but it's not much of a difference. In a news week, you're going to get big moves. Key takeaways for your strategy. The Wednesday guarantee. So during news weeks, Wednesday will move a lot. Tuesdays are a great day to trade during those CPI FOMC days as traders are positioning. Monday's probability falls to just 22% in quiet weeks. So in a quiet week, you probably don't want to trade a Monday. And then we have the Thursday, Friday floor. Thursday and Friday maintain a higher quiet week probability than Monday or Tuesday. This is likely due to weekly options expiration, gamma hedging, which creates range expansion even when there isn't a specific economic catalyst, which means trade the Thursdays and the Fridays. So in summary, you can use Gemini to cross-reference statistics with the economic calendar. Furthermore, if you do not scalp like I do, then you need big range days. If you need big range days, don't trade the Monday. The big range days on quiet weeks will happen on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, but they won't be so much bigger. On a CPI FOMC week, you can get big, nice moves on Tuesday. Obviously, you'll get a big move on the Wednesday and Thursday also. Finally, you can always trade Fridays because they will give a big move. If you would like to have access to Edgeful, which has dozens and dozens of reports for every single asset, there's a link in the description to this video. If you would like me to teach you exactly how I trade and how you need to use statistics and mathematics and probability theory to become a consistently profitable trader, there's a link to my mentorship below.